How's it guys, it's Davey, FPL, and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is obviously going to revolve around double Gameweek 37. To you guys in chat, let me know if the audio is good, the video is good, and then we can hit straight into all the double Gameweek 37 goodness, which is probably going to revolve around some question marks about which Man City assets to bring in. Maybe you guys are worried about which player to bench. You can ask me all that good stuff in the chat, and I hopefully will reach out to all of you with a solution or the best attempt at an answer. So if you guys are having a very nice Saturday, I just came back from footy, which is why I'm a bit late. I do apologize for that, but at least we are having an entire day based around the beautiful game, so I'm looking forward to it. In terms of my kind of transfer plan for today, it's either Isaac to Alvarez or it's rolling the transfer, maybe playing Trippier over Isaac even. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do 100%. We could potentially get some early team news, but after last week, after not getting Wilson early team news and the results of that, I think that we're just not going to rely on early team news today. So I wouldn't be super confident. The biggest news is Rashford going to be fit for the upcoming game week, but we might not even get that because they play the 4 p.m. kickoff South Africa time, 3 p.m. kickoff UK time. So unless they're getting to the stadium and someone sees Rashford or that sort of thing, I don't think you'll get any news about that. Currently, I'm going to just keep him and play him. He was sick, but I don't think the sickness is the biggest thing in the world. And if you guys did watch the kind of arrivals news, Luke Shaw also wasn't pictured with the squad, but those pictured weren't like the number of players pictured wasn't the entire squad. So Luke Shaw and Rashford could have potentially traveled differently. And as someone noted on Twitter, would you really want Rashford if he's sick traveling with your entire squad? Probably not. So he might have just kind of traveled separately, and he might actually be fine for the first game. If he's not though, I don't think I'll do much. I mean, there is a potential Isaac down, Rashford up, bring in Martial, bring in Mahrez, but I don't know if I'm that keen to do that. But if we do get news that Rashford's gonna miss both games, then maybe we could potentially do that. But I've been neglecting you, chat. I do apologize. Let's say hello to who's here. I saw some questions were popped up early on. If you guys have not seen the poll, I did 18 minutes ago. It's who's your captain? Haaland, basically Haaland, United, another Man City player, or another Brighton option. I'll detail some differential captains for you guys chasing. I don't think I'm going to go differential. I think Haaland's probably my captain this week. But that could all change if we do get some early news, but I doubt it. Marco is saying, what's up? Check Discord. I will check Discord now, Marco. Mahrez in captain, says Cohen. Steven says, is the general consensus that Haaland plays both games? I do think so. I expect him to start both games. Whether he plays 90 minutes is a different story, but I think he's safe enough, if you guys do want to captain or do want to bring him in, that he should get the majority of minutes. I think he's chasing the goal record, and I don't think Haaland plays as much as the other Man City players. I think that, yes, he drops back, but I don't think he exerts as much around the field if I watch him play, especially because Man City kind of just have so much possession. So he's just making runs left to right, not really kind of doing these massive sprints. So I think that his fitness should be fine for him to play both games. And I also think he'll want to with that goal scoring record. He's probably going to smash it, to be honest. Kepa to De Gea from -4. Who's your other goalkeeper? If you're only playing goalkeeper is Kepa, then I think that move is worth it. I just don't trust Kepa to start both games, and the worst thing you want is him to start the Man City game and then Mendy to start United away or something like that. Hi Philip, hopefully you're doing well. Abdul with the thumbs up. SH also saying audio and the video are Gucci. Rashford news, mate. No Rashford news at the current moment. I will check Twitter though throughout the live stream to keep you guys up to date. Someone was asking, hello, I still have my triple captainship still left. Do I use it on Haaland this week or Salah next week? Tracy, I would use it on Haaland this week. I think that this week is a perfect kind of triple captain week. I think Haaland's expected to play the majority of minutes, so logically it's sound in my opinion. I don't think Haaland this week and Salah next week is a little bit fair, but I think I'd definitely go Haaland. Thanks for all of saying that the audio and the video sound good. We have Harry saying, I've got Raya and Kepa. I'm probably bringing De Gea in for a -4. I've got Raya and I've got Kepa. I'm probably going to bring... Okay, that's fine. If you think he's going to score, but I'm always just a little bit hesitant with goalkeepers. Because that -4, what you're saying is that Brentford... So let's say Brentford keep a clean sheet, then De Gea has to keep 2 almost to repay that -4. I don't know. I mean, I would take the shot. I think at this stage of the season, though, just be very careful on your hits, Harry. JT saying Salah to KDB and Greenwood to Alvarez from -4. Salah to KDB is fine. I don't like it as much. The reason is I think that maybe Kevin De Bruyne gets one game and Alvarez at the current rate, I think he starts one game and let's assume he gets a few extra minutes. So with Kevin De Bruyne, if you think that KDB in one of those games outperforms Salah, I guess you're buying it for the chance of 2 starts. But I mean, Salah's still a fine option this week. It's just that's why I'm very much more for the Bruno move than the KDB move. But if you think Man City are going to do well, Alvarez, and because what you're doing there is, because you bring in Alvarez and KDB, you're basically getting one of the starts. Because I don't think that they start together. I think either Kevin starts or Alvarez starts. So what I would say out of those 2 transfers, you're getting 1 start from Kevin De Bruyne, 1 start from Alvarez, which could be better than Mo Salah. But just remember what player you're benching for Greenwood then. Because Greenwood you'll have on your bench anyways. I've got Kepa and Ray and 2 transfers. If it's for free, I don't mind a goalkeeper transfer this week, Abdul. Let me just check because I actually... Okay, wait, this screen's not on. Okay, wait, I just have to... It's thrown me out of FPL. I just have to type in my... At least that didn't happen like a minute before the deadline. So I was thrown out of FPL, but I managed to log back in. Okay, so Brentford plays Spurs today. Okay, I can understand maybe then that you're wanting to sell Raya. So if you have Raya as you're only playing goalkeeper and Kepa, then I can understand the -4, to be honest. Let me just bring... Sorry, I just need to move things around here. Okay, cool. What's the best striker option for Brighton? I think Ferguson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Welbeck starts the game and then maybe Ferguson comes off, but I don't know. Best free team for 103 million. Okay, we'll do a free team now. What do you think about Alvarez? I've gone a little bit cold on Alvarez, I won't lie. I think at the current moment, what I think is he'll start one game and then he'll get minutes in the other game, but I don't know if he actually will get a start. I think that he should, but I don't know. Trippier to Stupinan, Rashford to Mahrez, Isaac to Martial for -8. I'm chasing by -14. Okay, so basically what you're doing, Kurt, now is you chasing by -22. So if you're taking a -8 then along with your -14, or if that -14 takes into the -8, I don't know. But let's just assume it's the worst case. So then you're going to be chasing by -22. So what you're saying is Stupinan, Mahrez, and Martial outperform Trippier, Rashford, and Isaac by 22 points. It could happen, but I just don't know if it does. Are you captaining one of those options? Are you captaining Mahrez? Because then, Kurt, I can get behind it. Then I think it's a fine move, but if you're not going to captain one of those. Marco says, Dave, I had a dream of you. We traveled to Serbia and we played footy. What a coincidence. Was it 11-a-side or was it a 5-a-side, Marco? Because that's integral to the dream. But I wouldn't mind going to Serbia one day, so I'll put that on the list. I'm going out now. What moves are you planning? Akash, I'm probably going to roll the transfer. I might do the Alvarez move, but I'm kind of 50-50 on it, so I can't tell you right now, unfortunately. Hey, Davey, can you do a free team? Yes, I will do a free team. Let me do that for you now. What shirt are you wearing? I'm wearing a Besiktas shirt. I was gifted it, so. Nice shirt, though. I like it. It's the away kit, I do believe. Okay, let's go over free hit draft for you guys. Let me just wait for the planner to refresh. Okay, let me just see if... Okay, cool. The planner's booted up. Okay, let me just repair draft. Okay, let's go to draft 5 here. Yeah, repair draft. Let's reset the draft. Okay, so if I was to do a free hit draft this week. Okay, so I don't know if I'd have Salah. So let's start off with that. Let's just see how we can build it. I'd say on a free hit, I would really like to have certainty of Rashford. But what I'm going to say is, like, if we don't get concrete news on a free hit, I might be tempted to actually just stick with Anthony. It's a little bit different, but on a free hit, you guys can be different. McAllister, Matoma, I keep McAllister because I think he'll start both games. Let's focus on our triple ups. I think Shaw, I know he wasn't pictured in coming off the bus, but I think you stick with him. I think you stick with Edison, Mahrez, Haaland as your triple up. I'd keep a Stupinan. I don't know about Trent. So your 3 teams, you have the Man City triple up. Maybe not go for Edison. Maybe go for De Gea and then go for Alvarez. That could be a punt. So the teams that double. So we have United, who we have a triple up on. We have Man City, who we have a triple up on. We have Brighton, we have a triple up on. Then we have Chelsea, but I don't know about Chelsea. I don't know if I'd want... City, United's tough, but you could throw 1 or 2 differentials in here. Liverpool, would you want Salah? Would you play the odds? I might actually just say here... So we have Nottingham Forest, which was a tough game. I might say instead of going for Isaac... I mean, you could go for Wilson if you wanted to, but I might throw Jesus into it. What I can do is let me just check projected points for some players. Let me get back to you on this free draft. We'll get back to you guys on this one. I just want to run some simulations quick. So while we're busy with that, just let me know. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Don't worry, I'll get back to the free draft, but I just want to check something quick. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything important? So Darth, you didn't miss anything important. Just that the transfers this week, it's 50-50 kind of between rolling a transfer and then I might play Trippier over Isaac, or I might do Isaac to Alvarez. That's the plan today. So Adam, you're asking the same question. That's the plan today. And while we're at it, no chocolate milk today, but we've got a Powerade. So we tried Prime 2 streams ago. So now I've brought in the GOAT drink. This is a blue Powerade, which I think is the best drink in my opinion. I just played footy, so I'm gonna recharge the electrolytes. I don't even know if the electrolytes in here, but you know it tastes good, so we're gonna roll with that. Okay. Let's go over a potential free draft. Let's go back to it. So, I'd say my Man City triple up is fine. I'd say I'd keep Haaland, Mahrez, Edison. I don't know about the United one, but I'd say this approach is a little bit safer because of the Antony move instead of Rashford. I think you might still want to roll with these 2 assets in midfield because of a double game week. I might be a little bit skeptical about Matoma. He might be benched, but I think McAllister should be fine, but I think this triple up is fine. Then it's kind of just like these last positions. So in terms of the forward and in terms of the defender, I think this is where it might get a little bit weird. So you might want to go for Trent, you might want to go for Trippier, whoever you favor, go for them. But in terms of the Jesus move, I think there's a few assets you could look at. So you have 12.3 in the bank. So let's go over the options that you have. Okay, let's go over the strikers. So you can afford Harry Kane. Kane faces the early kickoff against Brentford at home. But if you find with the early kickoff, then you could go for Kane. But there are a few other assets. I think Wilson is still fine. I think Wilson will start the game because it's the last game at St. James's Park. So Wilson could actually be quite strong against the Leicester side that concede. So so for me it's between 3. It's between Kane, Wilson, and Jesus. I mean, I don't think I got Ollie Watkins against Liverpool. I'd say I'd probably be tempted by Wilson right now. This would probably be my free hit. It's got enough variation, but it is pretty template still. So you guys might want to go for some options such as a De Gea instead of a Luke Shaw. Maybe put an Alvarez up front. But I think out of the 3 teams, the Man City triple up is what I'd go for. The Man United triple up, unless you get Rashford news, then I'd go for him. The Brighton assets, I think this is acceptable. What you could also do is instead of going for Matoma, go Ferguson, but will Ferguson start? Will Welbeck start? Will Undav start? I mean, it's tough. I'd say that they have the same amount of rotation that Matoma does. So I'd say this is my free draft that I'd look at. So let me know if you guys think this is acceptable. If you think there are any changes, I can talk you guys through those changes and if they're better or not. But yeah, this is what I would go for in terms of a free hit. But let's go back to my team so people don't get confused about what we're dealing with. . Okay, so nothing as of yet in terms of team news. So we've had some sources saying that it's unlikely that we'll get United news, which is what we anticipated. But, I mean, we can hold thumbs, but I wouldn't be super confident. Let me just go back in chat and see if I missed anything. If you guys have sent messages, just resend them, because I might not see them. I'm gonna go up quite a lot, but yeah. Okay, so Shamir saying Edison versus De Gea for differential pick. What? So I don't think goalkeepers will be that differential, unfortunately, Shamir. So I would say maybe just roll with Edison. I trust Man City's defense more, but what I would say is I'd prefer Edison and Shaw than De Gea and a City defender. So that's what I would say. That's what I would go for. What do you think about Edison, Trippier, Matoma to Iverson? I've still Kanji, Estupinan, and Mahrez from -4. Okay, so Edison out. You're still getting... So you're negating the City clean sheet. You're taking a Trippier out, taking Matoma out. I like the Mahrez pick, but what I would say is I would do this if you want to captain Mahrez. But otherwise, I don't know if I would. Because you have Edison, you have Trippier, you have Matoma. Those are perfectly 3 options that are fine. You're bringing in Mahrez. I'd say only do this if you want to captain Mahrez. That's what I'd say. Sorry, I'm late. Did you miss anything? No, Siddharth. I'm chasing a 30-point gap in my mini league of Isaac. Here's Wilson. So I'm thinking of going aggressive. Maybe Isaac, Rashi, and Raya. Alvarez, Mahrez, De Gea. Harry, if you want to captain Mahrez, same as before, I'd do it. But I think a 30-point gap is pretty large, so I would probably vary my captain. I'd go aggressive, like you've said. If you want to stick with Man City, go with Mahrez. Otherwise, if you have Bruno, you can look at him. What's up, Davey, says Pedro. What's up, Pedro? How you doing, brother? What's the plan for today? 50-50 banking, playing Trippier over Isaac, maybe, or playing Isaac, or Isaac to Alvarez. Philippe saying Edison, Trippier. Okay, you've got a lot of players there. One free transfer. Okay, wait. De Bruyne or Salah to Fernandes. If you want to make a transfer, it's Salah to Fernandes. But what I would say is you could also just roll. If you find with going without Bruno. Between De Bruyne and Salah, that's a tough one. Okay, I get what you're saying there, Philippe. I'd almost say you have to go with the double game week option. I would say you have to go with Salah out, but it's close. It's very close, but I think you might be a little bit crazy to take De Bruyne out before double game week. Ray and Kepa, yeah, I can't afford Edison. Okay, you've got 3 Man United. Just pick a player that has 2 nice fixtures. Jacobus, in my Ultimate Guide video, I listed a bunch of teams that have good fixtures over the next 2. I would pick one of those teams. You could even go with Mendy if you think he'll start both, but I'd probably just go with a team that has 2 very nice single game weeks in the next 2 fixtures. Or if you want to keep Raya, just go with him. Joel Sally Bossman, team similar to yours with Grealish instead of Bruno. Free it this week or next? Team similar to mine. You've got Grealish instead of Bruno, which isn't the worst thing in the world. If you have Isaac, then I might be tempted to free it. But what you could also do is you could free it next week and just go with punts. I'd probably try and stretch a Joel to next week. I think that's more favorable, but yeah. Davey, why no chocolate milk? That's very disappointing sizes, Vincent. Back to FPL. What do you think about Rashford plus Isaac tomorrow's plus? That's a move that I've looked at, Vincent, but I'd only do it if we had concrete news about Rashford. Otherwise, I want to take a -4 this late. So I'm going to go to the... Okay, we got a super chat from Pranjal saying pick one option if you only have double Brighton. Trips to Stupinan or B, Isaac to Enciso, I think, / Ferguson. C, play Trippier and save your free transfer. So if you have a... So play Isaac / Trips. I would probably... Are you going to play Trippier next week? Let me just check who Brighton play. Aston Villa, not the best game in the world. I'll probably bench a Stupinan next week. And I might actually just bench Trippier as well. Because they play Chelsea, but maybe not. If you only have double Brighton. I like the Enciso move just because he was benched for the 2 games. But where will he play if he starts the fixture? Maybe instead of Solly March? I'd be tempted by the Isaac to Enciso move. I'm not the best Brighton advice holder though. So if you guys are a Brighton fan, maybe recommend something. But I would say Enciso because he was benched last week and he seems to be in good form. So I'd be tempted by that move, Pranjal, but thanks for the super chat. Do you think Mahrez is nailed for both games? I don't think he's nailed. I don't think any Man City option is nailed. Edison might be rotated, Haaland might be rotated, but I think he has a good chance of getting good minutes. That's what I'll say, Harry. Marco saying Botman to Lindelof or Wan-Bissaka. Let me just check quickly how Man United have set up in the past couple games. Has Wan-Bissaka been getting minutes? Because otherwise, I don't know if that's worth it. So against Wolves, we had Wan-Bissaka, we had Luke Shaw, and we had Lindelof. So Martinez is not back. Am I right in saying that? Okay, so Dalot could start instead of him. Lindelof looks more... I'd say I'd probably just go with Lindelof because I don't think Wan-Bissaka offers that much attacking threat. I think Lindelof should start both games. So I'd say Botman to Lindelof, Marco. Tarang saying, I'm assuming I'm 10 points behind my mini league rival. I have a triple captainship left. When should I use it? Use it this week and use it on Haaland, Tarang. Hi, Dave. I have 1 free transfer this week and I have 3 City players. I have Rashford, but not Bruno. Should I use my free transfer to go sell it to Bruno? Ronaldo, it's tough. I'd say I'd be tempted though. I'd say I'd probably be tempted. I think I'd do it as like a 1 week punt. I think that Bruno should be fine for this double. I think that he should be good for the double game week. Okay, we have another super chat from Ankit. He says, you're just the GOAT. Also, might be a good shot. Okay, so Ankit's saying that Wan-Bissaka might be a good shot. Thanks for the super chat. And thanks for saying, I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT of South African FPL content creators. I know there's a few, but I think I might, I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit too cocky on that one. Hi, Davey. Okay, you already said that. Kepa to Edison, free transfer. Yeah, that looks fine. I might be... Danny, just check. Can you get De Gea rather? But if you have 3 United, then Edison's fine. But I'm just a bit worried about Edison actually being benched in the second game. Marco saying everyone liked the stream. You only have to like it if you're enjoying it. Wilson or Alvarez? I have both. I need to bench one. You'd probably bench Wilson then. I'd play Alvarez. Wilson or Alvarez? Keep in mind you might have to play one. So Dennis and MQ. So to Dennis's question, if you have to bench one, you bench Wilson. But if you have to keep one or bring one in, I'd say Wilson is still fine. You are modest, Dave. Thank you. I guess I can. You can say that, but I can't. Yes, I can get De Gea. Thanks, Danny. I'd go De Gea then. I don't think I'd go. Edison. You're the GOAT with the chocolate milk. Well, I've got a Powerade today, so I don't have a chocolate milk. Jared saying 20 points behind in my mini league. Should I take a -4 to get Sean Alvarez in for Henry and Isaac to copy his current players? Yes, Jared, you take a -4 because then what you're doing is you're making it a -16 lead, but you're having the same players as him. So that's smart. That's what you got to do. So Jared gets it. If you guys are first in your mini leagues, you block the moves of second and third. So what you do is go and check what you can go and do. I'll show you a tip here. Let's just take a mini league for example. Okay, so let's go to, I think you can still do this, but I might be wrong. So let's go to Rita, who's currently leading the Davy versus the world, 33rd in the world, absolute banger. You can go to total transfers. I think you can do this, and then what you do is you can count their transfers. They might have patched this. I don't know if they have. But you can count the transfers that they've done here. I don't want to because it's a bit hectic. But if they've done like 43 transfers and you see that they've done 44, then you know they've done 1 free transfer. If they've done 42 previously, then you know they've done 2 free transfers. And you can kind of predict what they're going to do. But they might have patched that. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you've tried that before. But you used to be able to see their game week transfers. Tells you how many. Okay, cool. Replacement for March. I have McAllister and 1.1 in the bank. What double game week player can you get? Can you get a Man City double game week player? Can you get an Anthony? I don't think you can because March is about 5.2, I think. You can get Eze. He's nice. He has some good fixtures. But otherwise, you could use him as like a rotation piece. So if you have 2 free transfers, then what you can do is you can take March, downgrade it, and then upgrade another department. Is Rashford fit? I don't know. He's fit, but he's sick, I think. Would you go Grealish to Mahrez or roll the transfer? That's a tough one. I'd probably say you roll unless you have 2 free transfers. Then I might do it. But guys, it's super risky to do sideways moves for Man City assets. Like I'm even struggling to bring one in, and it's not a kind of sideways move. So I'd be very tempted. I'd be very cautious on those Grealish to Mahrez, Grealish to Foden moves, that sort of thing. Worth bringing Shaw in or someone else. I'm a little bit worried now that he wasn't pictured with the squad. Nothing's been mentioned about him though, so I assume it's fine to bring him in, and I think it's worth it. I think that United should keep at least 1 clean sheet, and Luke Shaw at left back offers more attacking threat now. Which goalkeeper for Chelsea is starting both games? I'd assume it's Mendy because he started the last one, but I wouldn't be 100% certain on who the Chelsea kind of goalkeeper is at the current moment. Sorry, let me just bring this aside. Gundogan or Mahrez? Mahrez, Richmond. Mahrez or Gundogan? Mahrez. So Nikos, you're also asking the same question. I like Gundogan, but he's played so many minutes over the past couple of game weeks. That's why I just prefer Mahrez. And Mahrez is generally a little bit more attacking, I'd say, even though Gundo's on good form. Maddison and Raya to Bruno and Forster or Iverson. -4 to afford. If Rashford's out, I'll go Eze and keep Raya. Okay, that's fine to do, Will. I like the Bruno move, though. I think that he could be worth the -4. Even better if you want to take a kind of captaincy armband on him. But I think Bruno's fine for -4 as long as you're benching options that you don't really want to start. Who would you consider starting Isaac? Would you consider starting Isaac over Rashford? Unless I would consider it if we got news that Rashford misses the Bournemouth game. Because then it's Chelsea at home, which I don't know if that's that great of a fixture. I think Leicester at home's a better game. So if we get news that Rashford is going to miss Bournemouth, then I'd do it. But if he's going to even be on the bench, I wouldn't. How many free transfers? I've got 1. You guys, okay, you don't see it on chat. Okay, so I have 1 free transfer for this game week. Can you pick 2 between Matoma, McAllister, and Wilson? Chris, are you asking to bench? Because then you have to go with the double game week players. But if you're asking for like a freer draft or something like that, I'd probably still go with the double gaming players. So yeah, Matoma and McAllister. I don't think you can bench a double game week player this week, even if it's like Bruno, even if it's Rashford, because I mean we know he's sick, so if you're not going to bench Rashford, you can't bench Matoma. Do you think Alvarez and Mahrez score 4 more points total than Isaac and Rashford? I would comfortably say yes, which makes me think the -4 is worth it. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Harry. I guess it's playing the odds there. What you could do, Harry, is you could go Martial instead of Alvarez. That could also work. But I know what you're kind of saying. You're playing the odds there. Man City are doing quite well. But what I will say is that if Rashford starts against Bournemouth, I think he gets an attacking return. So, I don't know. And Isaac's a weird one because I think a lot of us are just so like tilted after the Wilson versus Isaac debate that we think like Isaac's useless, which he might be, but he might still get some threat from against Leicester, which you probably would assume as they're not the best defensive side. It's just I don't really like him on that left wing, and I think that Wilson does start against Leicester. Is Grealish tomorrow's worth the -4? No, I wouldn't do it. I might do it for free, but I wouldn't do it for a hit. No worries, Chris. Matoma, Rashford to Bruno, Watkins to Greenwood. Okay, man, my answer would decide on like if we get early teammates, which I don't think we will, but it's a little bit sideways to go Rashford to Bruno. So I might just stick with what you have and then just go without him. Unless you want to captain Bruno, then I can understand it, which I would probably say Rashford at the current moment because he is sick. I think that there's a chance Matoma starts against Southampton, which I would keep him then. But yeah, it's a tough one to go for, but if you don't want to captain Bruno, you could also just not go without him. Hi Davey, what are your moves? My moves currently are rolling a transfer. Then what I might start Trippier over Isaac, or I might start Isaac over Trippier. It just depends on kind of the plan. Or I might take Isaac to Alvarez. Obviously, I'll start Alvarez then. What I will do is just vote on the poll if you guys haven't. I'm just gonna close it. It's pretty substantial. 77% of you are saying Haaland, and 19% are saying Fernandes/Rashford. So what you can assume is effective ownership is gonna be pretty high for Rashford this week. I mean for Haaland this week. But what I want to do now is who to start. So would you guys start Isaac or Trippier? Just ignore the yellow flag. So let's just assume that Trippier is fine to play. Okay, I'm going to do another poll here. So now you guys can vote. Who would you start between Isaac and Trippier? KDB to Bruno from -4, or just roll with KDB. I just roll with KDB, Ty. It's a tough situation, but unless you want to captain Bruno, then I just roll with it. Is Martial a good option? I think Martial's a fine option. I think he gets about 60 minutes both games, so that's 120. Over double game week, that's not too bad. And the fixtures aren't that bad as well. I'd say I prefer Martial currently to Alvarez slightly, just because I think that Martial gets more minutes. Whereas Alvarez, I don't know if he starts one of the games. I think he starts one out of the two, whereas I think Martial starts both. But it's obviously he's a kind of concern about with injuries. But I'd say I prefer Martial to Alvarez at the current moment. Start Dalot or Trippier. That's tough, Harry, because Dalot has fallen out of favor. I'd probably say Trippier slightly. I'm hitting the mic a lot, but I think it's because I'm quite close. So I do apologize for that one, guys. Let me check. Yeah, I think I might just play Trippier, to be honest, but yeah, it's tough. I just don't think that Dalot starts both games. Okay, so we have potential news, but I don't know if it is. Okay, so this is potential. So that's potential news. So if you guys aren't on the chat, what it says: Rashford didn't travel with the squad, however is believed to have traveled down separately. His fitness will be decided this morning after falling ill yesterday. New source, so can't fully guarantee it, but I do trust it personally. So, do with that information what you will. But, as I said, it's from FPL Heisenberg. I've put the @ in chat if you guys do want to go follow him. He's been getting some recent early team news. But yeah, that's the latest. Can you trust it? Can you not? I don't know. It's up to interpretation. But that's the latest news, or latest potential news, I'd say, that we do have. Garnacho with the punt. I mean, he's a fine option, but I wouldn't be too confident, Gavin. Vincent, okay. Vincent says, Marcus Rashford will travel with the squad to Old Trafford. He fell sick after drinking chocolate milk yesterday, so I'm sure where they'll... Okay, so first of all, it's not at Old Trafford, it's at Bournemouth. Second of all, I think the chocolate milk actually made him better. That's what I've heard, Vincent. I've heard, my sources told me that he drank chocolate milk and now he's actually fit for the game. But what are you leaning to this week? I'm leaning to actually rolling the transfer, Taj. I'm just not super confident on Alvarez, and I might just play Trippier over Isaac because Isaac has let me down, so he can let me down once more. I don't have Trent and Wilson. 3 points behind in my league. Any differential suggestions? Not sure if you answered on Discord. My app keeps crashing. So Tarang, let me check. I think I did answer on Discord, but I can just confirm for you. Okay, so I said here. So when you compare your teams to him, you have Shaw, he doesn't. Yes, he has Trent, but it's Villa. I mean, Villa's not the easiest game in the world. You have Robertson, though, to kind of counter that. You have mainly the same players, but you've got Edison, he has De Gea. I don't think you can do too much because you're only 3 points ahead. Because what I'm saying there is if you want to duplicate his team, you're going to take -4 hits, -8 hits, and then you're going to be losing anyways. So I think you almost put in a corner here. You have to stick with what you have. But I might be a little bit more aggressive, and I might just roll with Isaac and just hope Isaac outperforms Wilson, but I don't know if he will. But yeah, I answered. It's just like you're in a tough spot because it's only a 3-point lead. I need help on Delot, on Isaac. I have 2 free chances. Please help. So you take Delot out, Kath Dan, and you go for another Man United defender if you can. Lindelof's fine. Luke Shaw's fine. Or you can move to another defender if you want to. And Isaac's not the most priority transfer out because the replacements aren't that great. I'm in a cup semi-final, have both Friet and triple captain. What is best for this round? Triple captain this round, Friet next round. Obviously team dependent though. If your team dependent looks terrible, then you can use the Friet this week. But I'd be more tempted on the triple captain this week and then use the Friet next week. Ashley saying, I'm 3 points off first in my country league. Well done. Well done on that one, Ashley. Should I captain Haaland or go differential with Bruno or Mahrez? Also, is it worth doing Trippier to City defender or Wilson to Alvarez? If you 3 points off, 3 points to me is not a differential, Ashley. I would captain Haaland and then just hope your other players around you make up those 3 points. Because surely you have one player different, then that one player just has to make up those 3 points. But because you're so high, I wouldn't not captain Haaland. I think Haaland's a fine option this week. I think Haaland, you only go non-Haaland if you're really chasing. What's your probable move today? It's either rolling or Alvarez for Isaac, but I don't know. I'm leaning slightly towards rolling a transfer and then just going with what I have currently. Would a -8 be worth it? Jared, what's the -8 though, brother? I know you commented earlier on, but I can't go back and find the comment. So just comment if what your -8 is. But a -8 could be worth it, but I don't know if your -8 is. Is bench boost from -8 a mistake? Gavin, if you're going to make up 8 points from the players you have to the players you're bringing in, then it's not a mistake. But just be careful because with 2 game weeks left of the season, I don't know. You don't want to really be taking a lot of hits at this stage. I think I've got every big decision wrong this year, Davey. I need to try. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like the same, Connor. I don't think it's been a great season for me overall. Last week just put salt in the wounds with the Wilson versus Isaac debate. So I feel you on that one. Herman saying, start Wilson or Trippier? Definitely start Wilson. I would definitely go with Wilson over Trippier. Herman, it's almost a no-brainer for me. I think that he should start the game, and I mean, you've just seen him recently. He's on great goal-scoring form. Isaac to Martial, Trippier to Stupinan, Rashford for Mahrez for -8. I'm chasing by 18 points. Okay, so Kurt, so the news we've got currently is that Rashford is going to be back. Trippier to Stupinan, I think that moves fine. Isaac to Martial, that moves fine. So I'm assuming, Kurt, that you probably can't get Martial in if you can't go Rashford. So what I might say is you can just do the Trippier to Stupinan move, and then I might just say Isaac to Alvarez instead. And then just keep Rashford. Unless you want to captain Mahrez. If you want to captain Mahrez, then I can understand it. Would you change Kepa for a hit? I'm bench boosting. Yes, I would, because he's going to get 0 points. So if you bring in a double game week goalkeeper, theoretically, so let's just assume that Kepa doesn't get any points. But I mean, he could start. We don't really know what's going to happen. But if he doesn't start both games, then the double game week goalkeeper you bring in should hopefully get you 2 points appearances both games. That's already the -4. So anything extra they get could be worth it. So if you bench boosting, then I can understand the -4 for a goalkeeper. I can't bring in Alvarez. Sorry, okay. I can't bring in Alvarez as I've Edison, Stones, Haaland. Who do I bring in if I don't roll? Ryan, do you have a triple up in United? Can you bring in Martial rather? Otherwise, you could just keep what you have. If we don't roll a transfer. If you don't roll a transfer, there are a few other assets. If you have enough money, you could go Isaac to Wilson as like a very sideways move. I think it should be worth it though. Or you can go, I don't even know. There's not that many great options. I mean, you could bring in a Brighton forward. Can you look at my message /link says G-Ball? Yes, I can. G-Ball, where did you say? Very tight in my mini league sandwich between the top 3. I can try and take a look at it. G-Ball, just comment it. Would you do Isaac to Alvarez? Yeah, that's what I was tempted to do, but I don't know if it's worth it because let's do the transfer planner. Okay, so this is the draft 5, guys. I'm just going to save the changes if you guys want to come back to it, but let's go over draft 1 and reset the draft. So if we do Isaac out for Alvarez, okay, let me just find Alvarez. He's got like an accent on the A probably. Yeah, he's got the accent on the A. Okay, so if we bring in Alvarez this week, this will be the team. So next week, I don't think Alvarez will start. He might though. Maybe Trippier over Stupinan. Yeah, I don't know in the long run though if this move looks that good. Because what I could then do next week is I could take those 2 free transfers and do something with like Trippier, do something with Alvarez. I could, or this would be Isaac. I could bring in like a Jesus and someone else. Because how the fixtures on 38? I could go for Arsenal assets. That looks pretty strong. I mean, Crystal Palace. That game might be Everton. Probably not. Got United already. Maybe Spurs. I think I might just roll the transfer this week then. It's just because I'm not super confident next week that he does, unless I want to take a -4 hit, but I don't want to take a -4 on the last game week of the season. But I mean, it might be worth it. But is this team that... What does the poll say on Trippier versus Isaac? Okay, so 57% of you are saying Isaac. For 57%. Do you just keep Kepa and Reyes keepers and hope Kepa starts? You can, Connor, or you can take a hit. Or a free transfer for like an Edison. I would try De Gea. Does Alvarez have a double this week? Connor, yes he does. He has the same double as Haaland, Chelsea, Brighton. Is Salah to Bruno worth it? If you want to captain Bruno, I think definitely. I think Isaac to Alvarez does make sense. Tarang, I think it does as well. I just don't know about next week though. That's the only thing that I'm slightly worried about. Because if we do that move, what's the move we do next week? Do we just hope that Alvarez plays? Okay, now something's glitched. Okay, no, it's back. Do we just hope that Alvarez plays next week? Because what if City win the title against Chelsea, then they lift the trophy at the Etihad. So there's no pressure for them to play well in the next 2 games. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I'm contemplating now. Posted my league link. Gee, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to access this. If it was posted in the comments, it probably got deleted though, because I think all links get deleted. Is backup to... Yeah, I guess he is the backup. Go with your gut, Dave. I don't even know what my gut's telling me. News on Rashford. Bit late, says James. Okay, so was there news on Rashford? Okay, I see nothing here, to be honest. Yeah, I see nothing on Rashford, but if you want the latest news, it was that Rashford, like, apparently traveled separately, but I don't know how reliable that news is. Okay, so are we going to do this move? I think we have to lock it in with about 10 minutes to go. So let's do another poll then. We'll end this poll. Sorry for all the polls. Okay, there's a poll. You guys can vote on it. Just be quick. Must be, yeah, that's the tweet, the FPL Heisenberg tweet. So guys, you can go vote on the Alvarez in for Isaac move. Mahrez or Gundogan? I'd go Mahrez, Mohamed. Would you play Mac 10 over Rashford? Yes. But I'd play Rashford as well. I'll try to play both of them. I have Kepa and Ray as my goalkeepers. Worth doing a one free transfer? If so, for who? Thanks, Gareth. The number 1 is De Gea. Number 2 is Edison. Or if you don't have a Brighton option, then you could also, I'd probably say De Gea, Steele, Edison. That's my order of those 3. So you go down the ranking. If you have a triple up in United, then you obviously go next one. Have a triple up Brighton, then go next one. Which differential captain would be captain? Can you name the options? Okay, so the options of differential captain are Bruno. I think Bruno's a safe differential captain to go for. That's probably what I would just do. Other than that, though, you could go McAllister, because I think he should start both games. I'd probably say I'd stick with the United options, though. Okay, so 63% of you are saying yes. So we're gonna have some fun with the last pick. Don't have Edison. Should I get Walker or Kanji for Botman or Trippier? I wouldn't trust either of them to play both games, Hashem, but I guess a Kanji might be more nailed. Are you back from... Yes, I am back from Windhoek, Mohammed. I was just there for about a week. Okay, so I think we're going to do this move, have a little bit of fun with it. So we're going to go Isaac out for Alvarez. And we're going to confirm that. So a little bit of fun there to be had. I think my vice captain will be on Bruno. And I'll save that team. So this is going to be the team that we head into the double game week with. It's just for a bit of fun, I guess. We're going to try to get top 100k. I hope we do. Haaland will be our captain. I just want to upload the team quickly. Matoma or McAllister? I'd go McAllister because I think he's more nailed. So you wouldn't captain Mahrez or Alvarez as differential, only Bruno. Oh no, so sorry. I would go, if you want to stick with Man City, then go Mahrez. I'd go Mahrez as my favorite. And I would say, but I like Bruno. Like, I think if you're going to go differential, I do like Bruno. But 100%, if you want to stick with Man City, then go with... Then if you want to stick with Man City, then go with Mahrez, I think. Alvarez is also fine, but I prefer Mahrez. Alvarez in. Okay, cool. Wilson or Alvarez? I still like Wilson. I don't think I would transfer Wilson out or bench Wilson this week. I'd still stick with. I'd say Isaac is fine because I think Isaac can play left wing. But if Isaac starts center forward, then obviously different story. But I like Wilson still. I don't think I would take Wilson out or bench Wilson. Who would you play like Kepa and Raya? I'd play the odds Jimmy. I'd play Kepa and just hope that he starts both. Would you bring in Alvarez and bench Kane? No, I'd probably just keep Kane, Andy. Would you sell Kepa for a hit to bring in Pickford? Wolves, I'm bench boosting, but have all full slots of doubles. Would you sell Kepa? Yeah, I might be tempted by that. Does he have Wolves at home or Wolves away? If it Wolves at home, then yeah, Wolves away maybe, but I'd probably say that's fine. Chasing mini league title. Should I captain Fernandes if top spot doesn't have him? T-Man, if you chasing and he doesn't have Bruno and you think that... How many points are you behind him though, T-Man? If you're like 5 points behind him, don't do that because any points Bruno gets are going to be for you. But if you're like 20, 30 points off, then I would captain Bruno. Would you do Grealish to Gundogan? No, I wouldn't do that. If you had Wilson, would you bring in Wilson? No, well, I would keep Wilson. I'm thinking about Rashford and Kepa to Bruno and Klaassen, playing Edison in goal. That's a fine move, Christian, but like if Rashford plays, you could argue that Rashford and Bruno are equally as good of options. So it might be a bit sideways. But if Rashford misses the Bournemouth game, then definitely. Can I move out Castagne for Walker? Yes, you can, Pedro, but just be careful about Walker. I wouldn't be super confident of a start. Would you do Isaac to Alvarez for a -4? Danny D-Man, no, I wouldn't do it for -4. I would just play Trippier or play Isaac. Would you sell Wilson for Alvarez and Raya to get Edison in? Would you sell Wilson for Alvarez and Raya to get Edison in? I'd keep Wilson, Connor, and I'd sell Raya. But you might not be able to afford that. I don't like selling Wilson this week, guys. I won't lie to you. Or what about Greenwood to Alvarez for a hit? That's fine, Will, but maybe you bring in someone that you're going to bench. So just consider that. Should I play Kepa or Iverson? If you have both of them, I'd play Kepa and just hope that he starts both. Matoma and Isaac out for Mahrez and Insiko. That move looks fine, David. Rashford for Mahrez then. Is this a good move? That move is fine. If you want to captain Mahrez, understandable. But if Rashford plays, like, guys, that's the thing. If you're going to take Rashford out and he starts against Bournemouth, I think that that's a bad move. But if he doesn't play against Bournemouth, I think it's a fine move. It just, unfortunately, we don't have any early team news. I can check again for you guys. But I don't see anything. I don't see anything. So I would assume that with 5 minutes left before the deadline, there's no early team news. Bruno over Haaland for Campsey. Bruno starts both games. Surely also chasing. If you're chasing a mini league, then Bruno's your captain, in my opinion. Like it's almost a no-brainer. If you guys are 20 points, 30 points behind, if you don't care about overall rank, but that's important. So you can't say that you're chasing your mini league, then you don't captain Haaland, he bangs, then you're like, oh, now I'm like 500k. Because then it means overall rank matters. But if overall rank doesn't matter, and mini league's the only thing that you care about, then there's no point in not captaining a different player to your number one if you're chasing. But if you're chasing by like 5 points, then the rest of your players without captain could make that up. So don't say like, oh, I'm 2 points behind, I'm going to captain Bruno, if you still think Haaland's the best option. Trippier out for Trent? Not this week. As long as Trippier's fit, not this week. Trippier or Isaac to choose in your starting 11? I was on Trippier before the move. I won't lie. I was considering going for Trippier over Isaac. But I think that in this situation, you might just want to play the forward as he might have a high ceiling. I think Leicester should potentially score. So their attacking stats haven't been that shabby. So yeah. Captain Alvarez. That's a bit too differential for me. I'd say the only option I would captain other than Haaland is Mahrez at the current moment. The most locked City defender, probably Edison or maybe Ruben Diaz. Would you captain Fernandes? I'm 25 points behind. Yes, Emmanuel. 25 points. Just think about that. That's 25 points over 2 game weeks. That's a lot to catch up on. your differential captain's your best shot of doing that. Just imagine last week if you captain you captain Wilson and first captain Isaac, you could have made that up in one Campsy decision. So that's what you have to think about. Isaac to Alvarez and Pope to Edison from -4. I'd probably say Isaac to Alvarez and then maybe just keep Nick Pope, because I think that there might be a clean sheet there for Newcastle, but it might not be that secured. 20 points ahead, taking a -8 to copy Shaw, Trent and Alvarez from his side. So 12 points ahead, but I know he'll also take hits. He has Wilson. Okay, Jared, then that's fine. As long as your hits, let's just say that you're leading by 12 points, you take a -8 and you have the exact same team as him, then there's no chance that he makes up points on you, unless he differentiates his captain, that sort of thing. Then you're still going to lead by 4 points. So it's tough. Actually, you are South African. Yeah, I'm South African. How, man? I was born here, so that's how. Well, Wilson is the reason I'm behind, lol. Yeah, man. So like that's probably a situation that's tough to kind of take. But yeah, definitely tough one if you lost your lead based on that. Mahrez or Bruno captain? I'd say Bruno over Mahrez just because of certainty of starts. But I'd probably say Haaland, Fernandes, or Fernange, and then Mahrez. Andy says Bruno for Grealish and Trips for a City defender. If so, who? Captain Bruno, chasing him in a league. Bruno for Grealish. I think you could just do Bruno to Grealish, Andy, and then leave Trippier, unless you need the funds. My last week bench, nobody came in. No, that's rough, Marco. Like, shame. Like that's actually like puts into perspective some people's game weeks. But yeah, that's rough because I just Stupinan off the bench, luckily. But yeah, I've only used your bench boost. Play Rashford, Havertz, or still Havertz to Alvarez and play him. I'd probably just keep both, Jace. Silva, Marshall, or Anthony Alvarez. Anthony Alvarez. Adam. That's it's tight, but I'd say Anthony Alvarez. Oh, you're Egyptian. Okay. No, that's 100%, as you've said. Sons on the continent. No, exactly. Wilson to Alvarez. No, I'd keep Wilson. Foden and Mahrez will start this week. They could. I think that Grealish might start the first game. Good luck, Davey, says Matt. Thanks. Appreciate it, brother. Kepa or Raya. I already have 3 United, so I can't bring in De Gea. Can't afford Allison. Maybe bring in Ramsdale or Leonard. Yeah, Ramsdale looks pretty strong there, slamming. Captain Mahrez. Yeah, if you want to go differential. But unfortunately, guys, the time has been up. I don't think we have any early team news that came out last minute. Yeah, I don't see anything at the moment. Yeah, so unfortunately, guys, there's been no early team news. We're just going to have to wait and see if Rashford does come back. Cheers, Davey. Get the stream, hit the like, guys. Only if you guys enjoyed the stream. Good luck, says Nanad. Thank you. I do appreciate it. It's been a great season with you as always. Thanks for the wisdom. Unless you don't, just remember, we do have one live stream left next week. So hopefully I do see you guys there for the Game Week 38, the ultimate last game week of the season. But otherwise, hopefully double Game Week 37 is going to be a good one. I will see you guys for more content coming up this week. And good luck for double Game Week 37. Hopefully the green arrows in our favor. And next week, we're looking at a rank rise and sitting within the top 100k. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thanks for joining me. But I'm going to sign off to Davey FPL and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.